mean, everybody has a different thing that they want to show with jewellery. They either want to show that they're rich, or that they love their children, or that they love dogs, or that, you know, they enjoy eating carrots, whatever. They want to show something. It's an expression of your personality. And it's easy to go buy something factory made, pumped out of a machine that hundreds and hundreds of people have. But when you're the type of person that really wants to show something special, especially with engagement rings, I find, and wedding jewellery in general, people have this, now especially, this desire to be unique and to show their personality, and I love doing that, even if it's not my taste, or, you know, it's from ultra modern to antique. It gives me a real kick, actually. This one, the CEO of Walden Media, he talked to me and said, look, I went to Harry Winston. Do you know who Harry Winston is?
Yeah.
You know who Harry Winston is. And I want a pin made because I'm going through a divorce and I want it showing me and my 3 children. And they wouldn't make it for me. They kept telling me what I wanted and not listening to what I really wanted. I thought, I was still at school and I was like, I'll make it for you. He said that it meant so much to him and that someone would actually make what he wanted. So I get to make things with friends, or people who become friends through the process. It makes me feel really good.
A commission. What would it be if you thought, oh, I'd really love to do that? What would that be?
Gosh, well, okay, I love Victorian Edwardian. Not only do I love the way it looks, but I love the way it's difficult. I like a good challenge. I like something that makes me swear and you know, give the table a good kicking. Because when it's done and all finished, I sit back and think, I can't believe I made that. Making something like this, easy peasy. Took me 1 day to make this. But to make something that is very intricate and with a particular old style. For example, I think my favourite goldsmith is Lalique. Even though he worked mostly famous for his glass work, but he made things that looked like the real thing, like insects. You wouldn't know they weren't real insects. And I think that the attention to detail, that's what really excites me when I see something that the detail is so intricate. I have this dream, actually. I'm going to tell you my dream. I've been buying books from Amazon, actually, about butterflies. And I want to be able to make in jewellery using stones as colours and things, because the variety of stones you can get is incredible. I mean, most people don't know, they just think of rubies, emeralds, like this, but there's so many different colours. I want to be able to make, for example, a butterfly that, what they're called, a person who studies butterflies can look at it and go, that's a such and such.
Yes.
That's what Lalique did with flowers and bees and things, and I think his work is incredible. I grew up deep in the bush, dairy farms, middle of nowhere, like nearest neighbour being like 30 minutes away. And so there wasn't any, you know, you don't see like broken glass on the highway. I used to love that. See car crashes, I thought they were great because of all the sparkles. But the things I did get to see were, you know, mountain streams sparkling and dewdrops and my mum's roses and, you know, snot on a cow's nose. Things that would shine and sparkle used to fascinate me. I don't know, I just always drawn and painted just out of, my hands needed to be doing something, really. And because I'm dyslexic, although I was very, very good at sport, I think my biggest outlet was my art, which wasn't accepted when I was younger, and it was a waste of time. And always considered to be vanity because I used to collect little chains and stuff. My grandmother, who was a nun, she gave me a rosary, and I was fascinated by it because it was like a clear plastic, like beads, with inside the clear plastic is a blue plastic Mary. And I thought it was the most amazing thing I'd ever seen. And like, you know, my father was upset because he didn't want me having rosary beads.
Didn't want to be Catholic.
And, you know, but to me it was just something pretty. And I used to pull apart, when I get old bits of chain stuff, I used to pull them apart and rejoin them to make them into different shapes. I mean, destiny really, I had to become a goldsmith.
Yes, it was just, what else could you do?
Well, yeah, exactly. Being in Tasmania, I'm sure it's different from Sydney or anything, but being in Tasmania, art is not something highly prized. Being an artist is kind of like you're basically a drug-smoking hippie, which I'm not. I did art in high school and stuff, but all my art was always like they'd see a piece of art hanging up, drying, and they'd throw it away because they didn't like it. Because my idea would be to paint a night scene, and I'd do black first, and then bring the whites out and stuff on top of lights, city lights and things. But they could never understand it, so they'd get thrown away. And I remember the first time I painted without being told what to paint. I must have been like 23. I got a great big canvas and I just started painting. I still have it. It's hanging up in my house. I always used to get in trouble for drawing naked ladies when I was a teenager. Here, there's naked women everywhere. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I suppose
But I just think the human form is absolutely beautiful.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter what sort of shape it is. It's beautiful, and like nature in general, butterflies, plants, it's all beautiful. I remember I got my first job in a jewellery shop because I thought they looked like heaven. And I was going around looking for work, and I thought, right, I really want to work in a jewellery shop, a wedding shop, or a florist. They're pretty, and I like them. And I kept persisting until I actually said to the guy, Australia's oldest family jeweller, actually, he said, oh, we don't need anybody. And I said, well, how about I work for free? You don't have to pay me, I'll just work. And that way I'll gain experience in a shop, and I'll gain experience, and so I will have a better chance of getting work in the future because I had no shop experience then. And he said, oh yes, he jumped at the chance. He said, oh yes, and after 4 months he turned around and paid me everything he would have normally, and I was indispensable. Because I'm like that. So I really like Salvador Dali. Not all his work. But he also did goldsmithing as well, which is quite interesting.
Really?
He made an actual beating heart, made of rubies to actually beat like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's kind of gross actually, because it looked like a real human heart. It didn't look like a
Exactly.
But I think what I like about his artwork is he didn't care. He just painted weird stuff. Well, I remember I lived in Ireland for a short time with my family. Hated it because of the attention that the whole family thing got, and it really bugged me because I never wanted to be the popular kid, I really didn't like the people who everyone fawned over, and always a bit of a loner, a bit of a hermit. But I hated it in Ireland when people would want to touch me. Can I just touch you and start shaking? I'm like,
your hair.
So
It's freaky.
it's not so bad here because initially it's like, if you're not an Italian author, then you're nobody. So it's brilliant. But I've done lots of chronicles in Ireland jewelry.
Really?
Yeah, for the movies.
Really?
All the actors and things got. At the end of each movie, they get a gift from my father, which is generally very weighty in gold and dripping diamonds, and I don't get paid for doing it. But but it's really good for me because it's something I can say I've done, and that the actors, it's how I get a lot of work from other people by seeing that work.
Actors wearing it.
But that's why my card has ruby cheap on it. I actually have a little stamp which I stamp my work with ruby cheap, because the first big piece I made was a ring with ruby cheap on it.
Really?
For Prince Caspian, when Prince Caspian came out. And so then I decided, well, ruby cheap's cool, and it was my design of the mouse, so I thought, well, I'm gonna keep it as my symbol.
Very.
After that, everything gets
He's a very
ruby cheap.
memorable character as well.
Well, yeah, he's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's feisty. It's not at all sucky.
No.